Okay, so we are back, and now we are gonna go to the next step. So in the first video, we created a project, did a prerequisite installation. We created a project. In second part of the video, we connected the MSP432 to the H Impulse portal, specifically this project. As we can see here, it is connected with the green dot here. The next step is data acquisition or collecting of the data. To do that, you will need to start uh, actuating the MSP, the button on the MSP432 and capturing the data onto the H impulse. This is the most um, troublesome part where you need to collect a lot of data. So how do you go about it? So there's two things. First is you need to decide what is the device. So in this case, it's MSP432 or whatever name that you gave here under the devices, whatever name here, that is what you need to select. Most likely you only have one choice. Then the sample length. Sample length is how long will they record the data. So you want to make it, for now it is 10,000 milliseconds, which is equivalent to 10 seconds. So for button press might be a bit too long. So just say that we're going to make it 3,000 seconds, which is 3 seconds. So what we are trying to do here is we're trying to differentiate between a short press and a long press. So a long press is anything around 2 seconds, and a short press is anything less than 1 second. Okay. The sensor itself will be we label as S1. Okay, then we tied this to the button. Okay, so actually what happened is that it is if you notice that in your Arduino code is you are literally just serial printing out whatever data you get from the push button, which is a 1 or 0. Okay, so what is happening is that and these ones or zeros are going to be captured by the script that is run by this script here. It's going to be forwarded to the H Impulse portal itself, and they will treat this as S1, the feature of S1. Okay, frequency wise, we leave it as 50. Why? Because of this guy. We set it to 50 megahertz. Leave it as that. Okay, so the only thing left that you need to key in is the label itself. Okay, give me a moment. So the label is you trying to classify it. Is it for our case will be either a short press or a long press. Yeah, for now let's create short press. Okay, and we'll start sampling. So when I click the button, this button here, start sampling, what will happen is that there'll be a timer that will appear, and the timer will count down 3 to 1. During that timer, you will need to be able to press the S1 button itself so that it will be captured. Okay, let's go. Let's start sampling. So wait to start 3, so that you can press short press. So I do a quick quick press. If you notice, this is a short press that happens. So from here to here is 3 seconds, and I did a short press. Okay, and I can keep capturing the same thing again and again with the same label. So I click start again. 3 to 1. I do a short press again. Okay, notice. So they have two capture already, and I'll keep doing this again and again. So just say that we're trying to capture 10 short presses and 10 long presses. Okay, so if you notice that it changed because I press immediately once I start sampling. So it doesn't matter as long as it's within the 3 seconds. And I'll keep doing this again and again. Let's try to get 10. Oops, I made a mistake. I forgot to press. Let me delete this one. Let's delete this one. Delete. Okay, there you go. Let's capture this again. How many other? So now we have 10 samples of short press. Let's have 10 samples of long press. Okay, so I just changed the label. So once I click sample, I will have a long press. Long press is anything, just say above 2 seconds. Okay. So if you notice, this is a long press. Let's do another one, and let's try to see whether you can get 10 of them. Oops, this is not good. So if you notice that the data is not good, throw it away. Don't keep it. It will make your whole process even more painful. This is good. Oh, okay, this is not good. So let's throw this away. This is not good still. Sorry about that. Not good. Okay. So how many long press do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's give it a few more. Okay. So we have 10 and 10. So then, so if you notice that all these things are under training data, we will need some test data also. So one way is you can actually take whatever 10 here and split it properly. Means out of this 10, 10 and 10, you can take away 3 and put it under the testing, or you can generate some data there. For in our case, let's say we will put some of them to the training. So just say that this long press, we put it under the move to the test set. Yes. That's, and also the short press, we move this short press to the test set. Okay. If you notice that it is still red, meaning that it's not enough. You will need to have a good ratio, typically 70-30. Okay. So just say that maybe said, oh, okay, no. I will create new data just for the test set. Okay. So let's do that. Let's create a one test data for long press. So you create one there. So again, make sure that you're in the test data here. So long, so we have 2 long press. Let's create one more long press. Okay, then we'll create a short press. Where is it? Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's get one more short press. Okay, so once you have done that, so okay, the thing is data collection is great because you should be collecting a lot more data. But it doesn't matter. The only problem you'll face with having so little data is the accuracy might not be good. but as this is a lab, should be fine. But technically, you should have a lot more data, at least 100 for long press, 100 for short press. But again, for the purpose of the lab, let's leave it as it is. But if you notice, the training and test split is a go because it's a good balance. About 2/3, 1/3, or 3/4, 1/4 is a fair deal. So once you have this, you can actually go to the next step. If you want to see any one of this data, you can click on it and it will show you the data itself. Okay. So then you once you are happy with your test data and your training data, you click on the impulse age. Then you have the window here. The window here, we will match it to be the same as the data. So we'll wait for 3 seconds. So it will, every 3 seconds, it will try to capture what is happening. Window is increased, we can leave it as a 1 second, meaning that it's kind of like a plus minus from the two sides. So it's like kind of like 3 to 4 seconds kind of thing. Frequency, we leave it as it is. Data processing block, we can take it as raw data, S1. Learning block, we can put it under classification. Okay. In this case, we can just name it whatever we want. It doesn't matter. So we're using the NN classification, a neural network classification classifier. So if you notice that the output features, there is 2 of them, long press and short press. You're taking the raw data. Then you click on save. Okay. So once you are done this, the next thing you need to do is you will need to this is the data itself that is being sent through you. You can leave the axis as 1, which is fine. So this is the actual data that is being sent. So when the MSP is sending the button press, it was sending 1 1 1 1 1, then 0 0 0 0, then it go 1 again. So this is the actual data that is being sent. And so what you are actually detecting now is the pattern here, the patterns of ones and zeros, literally. Okay. So once you have done this, you can save it. Then you click on, you need to generate the features. So ultimately what's happening is that once you collect the data, everything we are letting the H-Impulse tool and do the what needs to be done. You don't have to worry about, oh, what do you need to do next, things like that. You just need to generate features, which means that they're trying to generate what are the features that it can use to detect the patterns that you require, which is either a short press or a long press. The details of what is happening, we won't talk about it because this is more on machine learning domain. Just know that you need to create some features. And if you notice one thing, so they are able to clump these two together very nicely. So these are all, each one of them is the actual data that you are able to do. And this for the long press and the short press. And if you notice that it has a is able to very nicely differentiate between the two, which means that our data set is good. It can be clearly defined between the two. Okay. So once you have done that, you can go to the NN classifier. So for this case, you just leave it as default. Just make sure that the output layer, there's 2 features here. Okay. Then you click on start training. Okay. This will take a little bit of time, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing for you to do. You can go off to get a cup of coffee or tea. It shouldn't take too long because we only have what, maximum 20 data, less than that. 18 data for training. So, but the more data you have, the longer this will take. But again, this is all performed in the cloud. So you just need to click on start, then you can just go off and let them handle the training. Okay. So it will take a little bit of time. Let's see. Yeah. And you're done. See? So they have completed the training. If you look at that, they have 100% accuracy because it's a very simple thing. Short press, long press, correct? So, and this is what they did with was with the test data. To use the test data to see whether they can detect the long press, which it was 100%, and they use the test data for the short press to check whether they can classify it as the short press, and which they did. So the model is extremely good based on the test data that was given to them and based on the training data is given to them. Okay. And they will also kind of give you a snapshot of how much RAM they use just for this model, how much flash use they need just for this model, and the inferencing time, which is 1 millisecond. Okay. So once you are done with that, you can go to the next thing, which is you can ignore the Eon tuner. Okay, you can ignore this. You can go to live classification. Sorry about that. And what you can do is here you can actually do the testing. I will show this in the next video. Okay. Oh no, I can do it here now. So what happening that you can actually test whether your model is good or not. How do you do that? So let's say that we are having the same hard device, same sensor. Keep the sample length at 3 seconds or so, and let's start sampling. And then we press the button. Let's do a short press for now. Okay. So I did a short press, and let's see whether they are able to detect it as a short press. And they are, yes, for that 0.91% they detected as a short press and 0.09. So they did a good job of detecting. So they decided that this is a short press, which is correct.